Manyanani, you've written a book there which is literally, it looks to me like a course outline. Is that written with the intention of increasing chess and upskilling chess coaches?
Yeah, definitely. You see, we also wanted to make the book so easy so that a teacher or any parent can just pick up the book and read and go through it. And they will see interesting reads like, we're talking about the I don't know if you know this famous movie about the Queen's Gambit, etc. So we put that all in the book, to make it interesting. But
Yes.
it's to capture the imagination of the teachers and of the youngsters, so that when a teacher picks up the book, the teacher can teach the youngsters in the class, and in that way, it can assist with your literacy campaigns and your mathematical
Well, that was
campaigns.
going to be
So
my next question. I mean, you've been in the chess game for a very long time. You're also, of course, a renowned author. People know Omar Easu. So we know your works. Just that was going to be my question. If a teacher picks up that book and starts to educate their students on chess, how do you see that transferring into the classroom, into the homes?
fantastic, JP, for that question, because remember we working in a very uncertain times, and no longer can you just have the content that the teacher give you in a textbook. If you press the internet, you can see all the information. We in a futuristic information age. It's international. It's artificial intelligence and digital era. So we're teaching the kids to be creative. We're teaching the kids to be critical. We're teaching the kids to think on their feet, meaning that they can sort of become international
Yeah.
scholars. And this is what is needed in a classroom. You can't just focus on the old textbook scenario. You need kids that are global fundis, and chess, of course, assist in critical thinking and then also thinking out of the box. And that is what will make a better society, especially
Of
with
course,
climate change and innovations to have electricity running at all good
yes, I'm
times.
sure everybody wants to have electricity running. That's the topical point at the moment. But Omar, just one of the things, of course, then is you can read about these things in a textbook, but then to see the practical application is actually the part then that makes it real. And you say that you took Manyanani Chess Club out there to help um, with the education of the elements in the book.
Yes, exactly. Now, look, chess teaches you strategy. So, with the Manya Nani, of course, we said, look, our club is not just about having top guys and being selfish and not sharing the ideas. Even if we just teach one person in the road, we are teaching that person new ways of thinking and encouraging the person
Yeah,
to think of other dynamics. So, chess is not just, I mean, it is a code of sport, but chess is also an art. It's also something that our judo players, or our rugby players or our cricket players need to have, so that they can think on the spot. It's
yeah, yeah.
important to think critically, whatever code you belong to, and chess just adds that extra, mechanism for the competitor.
Omar, you're of course talking about from very much from a skills point of view and what it
Yeah.
does for one as a way that you're thinking type from that sort of aspect. But the other fact is, of course, that chess is a sporting activity that allows for moms and dads to get their children into a safe environment, into a space that takes them away from home. At least not away from home, but into a space where they feel
Into a
comfortable with
safe space.
coaches, yes, and other players and teammates. I mean, that is the other big plus. And having role models like you've got at Manyanani must also help with motivating people to start playing chess.
Yeah, you see, what is very important is the issue of non ages, and that is beauty. I mean, that helped me a lot. Being able to play with my lecturer, or being able to play with a elderly person when I was just a youngster, and I could converse with him or her
Yes.
over the board, and they could give me advice. Do this in life, do that. Do this. So I think the non-ages part of six, or not six, of chess,
Yes.
and non-sexist, it's non-sexist
Well,
because
it's
a girl
non-sexist.
can
Well, there's
easily
no
beat a
gender
boy. It's
in
it's
chess.
it's
Anybody can play
it's
against each other.
non-racist, it's
Yeah,
non-ageist.
yeah.
But I think coming to the ages thing, because nowadays you find 80-year-olds that's very young, and you're going to find in South Africa more and more 80 plus people will still be hawking around looking for jobs because that is the new way. So chess, of course, caters for all of that. You
Yeah,
can be a 90-year-old and you can play with 14-year-olds and still have that same adrenaline kick. So it's all that to bring a better nation, and I think that is what we're punting, so that we have, yes, in some sport, the guy can't play anymore, he becomes a legend, blah, blah, blah. In chess, you stay a legend. so,
what
so that is
what
what we're
comes next
encouraging.
now? What comes next now for Manyanani Chess Club? I mean, you guys have not, you're now the chess
Yeah, what
champions.
is,
You've got so many development programs in place. You've got your players that I'm sure are not going to go anywhere now because they are now linked to the
yeah.
title holders. And you don't move from team to team or club to club when you're the title holders. We see that in sport
Fantastic.
quite a lot. What comes next for you guys now?
You see, what is important, I'm sorry for bringing this to the table, is that you need to have a stable federation, whether it's national or international level, so that when the players play and they've reached the level where they need that sponsorship, they need to go and show that they can be the next grandmasters in the world. And I think South Africa needs that to push the country. We've got top players, yes, but how do we actually take these top players and make them into, amongst the best in the world?
Yeah,
At the moment we only have one grandmaster, and I think this is an opportunity, when we have good competitions on grassroots, especially in Western Province and Western Cape.
yeah,
It becomes
yeah.
imperative that, whether it is on a national level or whether it's on a continental level, that there needs to be that type of good opportunities for
Do you have a
players. And unfortunately, opportunities is also
well,
sponsorships, and I think
talking about
that's what we're all
opportunities?
saddled with.
Talking about opportunities, do you have a competition coming up next? Is there a national championships or another provincial championships or what comes next for you guys? Because now that your club is the Western Cape champions, and we obviously want to see them go and represent Western Cape.
Well, there's the African club champions, and then there's also the international club championships. So
Wow.
hopefully the club will participate in that, and it will also improve the personal ratings of the players. And when the players do come back, they can share those ratings with the youngsters, in our local areas, and in that way we push up the country's rating. So at the moment, South Africa, believe it or not, we first, second in Africa after Egypt, and I think in the world we always average. I went to the Olympiad recently. There was 150 countries, and South Africa ended here in the middle, but they still top in Africa. So somewhere along the line, we need to become like Armenia, etc., etc. And I think we can do it. So
Yes.
with a big base, as you always, a big base, we can have a strong top coming through.
Well,
And yes, we enjoy it, and that's important. You make friends for life. We play
yeah,
against other
yeah.
players, but you meet them all over the world. And now with online, the world is a global village. Some people play till 3 o'clock in the evening, and they still playing against a player in Australia or in China. So chess has really broken barriers,
Well, I must
and
say, Omar, I think you guys are doing a fantastic job. Western Cape Chess, across the districts, the athletes, the clubs, your high performance programs, your development programs, your rural sport programs, your chess for women events. I think chess is a sport federation that has got mainly the right spirit. You're motivated, and hopefully, with these interactions that we're putting chess on TV, you're going to have a big base. And we'll
fan-
leave it at that, and we'll say to you, congratulations again to Manyanani Chess Club. You are the title holders and the champions, and we're looking. Well, we wish you the best of luck for the Africa Championships. Then,
fantastic, JP, and also with your good leadership, I think that is where we take sport forward. Bearing in mind, sport can make a difference in one's life, and that's it. A child in sport is a child not in court. Hopefully not.
absolutely,
Thanks so much for you,
lean
and thanks for your
on your
effort.
sage
Until
wisdom.
we meet again.
There we go. Right, folks. Omar Easu, of course, the president of Manyanani Chess Club. He is a legend in the world of chess, in the world of sport. And what a fantastic job chess is doing. And you've heard all the words of wisdom there from Omar about the fantastic athletes that are coming through the ranks, the championships levels that the clubs are achieving, and the ability to interact. And, well, there we, of course, see how chess as a sport contributes to social change. And we'll keep talking chess here on Sport Federation TV. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll carry on talking about sport in the province. Don't go away.